a learning management system without going crazy. I'm Tom Mills, and I'm the president of IS Champ. We help companies and businesses and individuals even choose a learning management system that's right for them. In today's world, there's 700, 800, maybe 1,500, who knows how many learning management systems there are. There are a few that are much better than others, and I will tell you that I do have some that I am very happy to share with you, and then some that I would say you might want to stay away from. So I'm sharing my screen now, and hopefully that's not coming across the YouTube feed. Let's see if I put that right down there. Excellent. So, what do you need to know when you're choosing a learning management system? Let's go ahead and find out. Okay. And then I'm going to get to my slides here. You have my first slide is up. So the first thing we need to do in choosing a learning management system is let's do some research. Okay, so this is just a slide that I pulled off the internet somewhere. It's under common, the common licenses. But really we have to come up and figure out what we need to put out there. What do we need in our system? So probably a good thing to do is maybe we should do some research and determine what to research. Well, what are our business needs? That's kind of a generic term that everybody tries to use. And we always say, oh, it's part of our business needs. It's part of our business needs. Yeah, it's a business need. Well, what we need to do is define what we need to do from a learning management system perspective on our business needs. So how does the business need to use our learning management system? I'm going to change learning management system out here now and really call it an employee empowerment tool or an employee engagement tool. Those are names I like giving it. I'm not a really big person on getting semantics right, but to me, this is a lot more than compliance training, enabling compliance training, at least if you're paying for it. I mean, if you want to do compliance training, just do it for compliance only. You can track and have an LMS as a spreadsheet. The reason you have an LMS is to engage your audience, bring in business needs, and ensure that your learners, your employees are knowledgeable and understand things. So one of the things I like to do is I say, can this be your document repository? Do you have a document repository for all your policies and procedures? How do you keep it up to date? Guess what? A lot of the modern learning management systems can do that for you. Okay, that's good. What about other types of employee engagement? Well, what about having something where the CEO gets on and does a quarterly meeting or a weekly announcement or a celebration of some sort through the learning management system? I equate it to having be a one-stop shopping source for everything you need. All right, so let's move on here. What else do we need? Oh, yeah, the learning needs. Oh, okay. What do we need to learn? Well, I mean, quite frankly, the learning needs should be a direct relationship to the business needs. And maybe on a subsequent title, I'll bring in how to build an annual plan for your learning needs, or how to build an annual plan anyhow. I used to do those for my audit days. How do you put together a plan that works and addresses what resources you have and matches what you need and what gaps you're going to have because of it? Business needs, learning needs, they should work together, because the business may be expanding to a new line of business, and we all have to be up on it, and we all have to be knowledgeable on it. We all should know what's going on with it. The learning needs are to build the right kind of information to pass that information along to the individuals in the organization, and need to know certain tasks and the overall organization so they have a generic idea of what's going on. Could be the financials. Could be something that's, understanding your financials, or how you make money, or why you're profitable. Could be, how do we reduce costs? You could do a survey on that. You could keep track of it in social communities, is cost-saving ideas, things that get reviewed and passed on and become more of a direct line to your CEO. Wouldn't it be great if the CEO actually used your learning management system every day? Went out and hunted out and sought out additional information from each of their employees? Wasn't Andrew Carnegie said, yeah, I'd rather have 10% of my own time as opposed to 100% of all my employees. Moving on. Marketing needs. How could your learning management system or your employee engagement portal deal with your marketing needs? How would that even relate? Oh, okay. You're going to have a heart walk, and you're going to sponsor it. And you're going to have employees do certain things with it. They're going to be volunteers. They're going to be participants. Wouldn't it be nice to have a place where you can say, hey, I had 300 of my employees working in there. We spent 10 hours of our own time each on there. Oh, so that's 3,000 hours of community service that your employees and your organization put in there. We want to do that next year. Hey, we have got all these people who participated. We can keep up the communication with them. So this is employee marketing as well as external marketing, because at the end of the year, we can kind of give a dashboard of what we've done for the community. And what we've done can be shared in our marketing, in our advertisements, you name it. We have a way of quantifying it now, and also a way of replicating it from year to year with less and less effort. That's why you'd want to use your marketing systems. We can also send out surveys internally to our employees to look at them ahead of time. Okay, so human resource needs. Wow, we just talked about employee surveys. I hate employee surveys because we do them once a year or once every 2 years. We send 36 questions out at a time, or we send, I don't know if I've ever had to have taken an employee survey that had less than 18 questions on it. How could the learning management system do something differently than that? Why would it be better to do it through the learning management system? Anybody want to throw a thought out there? I would tell you that the way I look at it is that what we need is the same thing you do with inventory. If you're a manufacturing company, you don't close down the shop and take inventory once a year and do one big, huge adjustment. You build processes in place to do a thing called cycle counting. Okay, ask. So those of you guys who are manufacturing, go ahead and ask the guys on the shop floor what cycle counting is. And so they don't have to close the plant down for a week and go through and count everything for tax purposes or reductions, or to make sure the accuracy of the parts are correct. No, they do a physical inventory, a dozen things at a time, 100 things at a time. They have one guy kind of doing it all the time. He goes out and does the counting and comes back and says, "Oh, today, that's what that is." They do the reconciliations, and guess what? They have a current, up-to-date inventory for that one particular part or that group of parts that they inventoried that day. Now multiply that by working 260 days a year. They've now, instead of being shut down a week, have divided that time throughout the year. And the things that are more valuable maybe get more or higher volume, get hit more and more often. And so they can be selective about the way they do in their inventory. So what I'm asking you to do is be selective in the way you do your employee survey. 1, 2, 3 questions. Come back within the next month with the answers to those questions so your employees know it. Use your LMS as that communication tool. Let them know that you're doing things to make better the things that they're concerned about. Wouldn't that be a great culture? Would that not be like the best culture ever? My employees, I understand my employees a lot better. I know what their needs are. I know what they're concerned about. I can put, like I said before, you can do cost improvement where they have ideas for the company and an organization. And some of those things can be brought to the forward that are great ideas. Some may not be so great ideas. But if I'm getting 100% of my employees, I don't have to sit in an ivory tower and make all the decisions uninformed, because I can take that brain power and use it to our advantage. That's what you really want to do. You want to talk about sparking innovation? Turn it loose on the people who are on the ground. Let them come forward with ideas. Take their suggestions, mold them, meld them together, make them theirs. And you'll have dedicated employees who know you're listening to them and taking their opinions seriously. Back when I first started out in the 80s, at my first job, we had a cost improvement program. They came around and made sure we had a party every year going over all the cost improvement ideas that we've had as an organization. Now, some were really great ideas, and they could be replicated throughout every organization. Each month, we would get a packet of those ideas. Well, in today's world, take that and take the lag out of that. Somebody has a great idea in New York, and somebody has a great idea in Indianapolis. And they could start up a social platform where they can talk about it, build a better idea, and guess what? You're getting that as an add-on to what they were doing in their normal work. You get their ideas, their thoughts for building the better mousetrap, for building the better environment, for building the better company, to building the better culture. Okay, so that's why you want to do your research. That's why you want to engage your business leaders, your executives, your marketing folks, I haven't got to my next slide yet. Let's do that. Let's move on. And I think I may have one out of order. Okay, you're legal. Okay, so that's always a portion that we need to look at is legal. What things do we want to do from a legal? Here's your compliance. Here's your compliance. This is why you would do your legal. However, it also could be talking about how to protect intellectual property. everything doesn't have to be compliance training. Even legal, doing things for the legal department, they do not have to be the boring compliance stuff that we've seen over and over again being turned out years after year. The really, really bad videos that you continually have to watch. There can be a nice little discussion about it that can be happened over multiple times. Something that doesn't have to be just annually. It could be on a continual basis, depending on how important you think it is. I had a leader when I worked for the BNSF Railway, Rob Krebs. He came on, and he had a quarterly statement. And every single time, the first thing he let off was the safety report. Now, if you really want to know if they take safety seriously, when the chairman starts every talk that he has with it, every talk talks about safety, walking the talk. So that's the difference, and it's a difference maker. All right, employee. Oh, employee. We forgot about the employee. Well, we haven't. I've been talking all along about the employee. The stuff we were doing above there and talking about, that's what the employee. That's what we should be doing for the employee. I have down here culture as well. I did get one slide out of order here. Culture, what are your cultural needs? What things do you want your organization to be excited, enthused about? Understanding in your organization, build the culture within your LMS. You can do it. It's very possible. Not only very possible, but very, very cost effective. 95 to 99% of the LMSs out there do not incorporate all these. There's a ton of functionality that's left on the table. It's up to you to decide what to use and how to use it. And this is an iterative process, but if you don't choose a system that can do this, you'll never get there. So that's why you need to research it. You may only want to do the compliance thing. That's okay. But I will tell you, I think you're missing out. And you can go pick up something off the shelf to do the compliance stuff, because any one of the LMSs are going to do the compliance. You need to think about maybe third party, if they'll do SCORM or not, and that's about it. You also want to know how your employees get pulled into the system and what kind of information you have on them and how easy it is to pull it in. That's part of the HR needs that you have, that things are easy, and the learning needs, things are easy to get to the right person versus individually assigning a course to every individual, or assuming that they're going to go out and pull the course in the library. You want to see if they're actually doing the course, how much time they spend in it. So those are some things basic functionalities that most LMSs have, but some do not. And I'm always surprised that I find those out there. So that's the employee. So what's this all about? It's about the employee. Giving them a place to go for everything they need. Giving them the information that they so much strive for and thrive on. It's giving the employee the ability to make his workplace a better place, to make his job more efficient, to make his day easier and less stressful, to give him one place where he can find everything. The learning management system is one of the few tools that can support almost any file type. It displays courses that communicate back and forth with the user. He keeps track of scores on quizzes. It reports on all these pieces of information. So it's not just a one-way street. It's not a directory or filing system. It can be interactive. It can request that for legal documents that they agree to those before they continue. And upon agreeing to those things, that they are saying that they've read it and they understand it. These are the things that make great LMSs very worthwhile. Don't sell your purchasing of a learning management system short. It's important, imperative that you choose the right one for your business to do the right things. It's not just a cost-based system. It's more of a cost avoidance situation getting the right one, because you know, being an ex-auditor myself here, I know that 75% plus of new implemented software is replaced or discarded within 2 years of implementation. Or they're not getting the full functionality that they expected. Some say it's much higher than that. Don't let your learning management system fall into that category. You will probably only get one chance to invest in your learning management system. It is a large expense. Put the preparation and effort into researching what you need out of it and getting that system. So how do we go about doing the research? Well, I suggest you interview executives. Executives? We're going to talk to the executives about learning management system? Well, yes. I might go bottom up first. I might talk to legal and HR and have an employee focus group and then talk to marketing. But in doing this, getting all those pieces of information together and building your case to the executives so that when you talk to them, you have some means to kind of, well, marketing is looking for this, and HR is looking for this, and legal is looking for this, and maybe manufacturing is looking for this. They need something that needs to be mobile so that they can use it on the floor. And maybe the healthcare folks need to have it so that it's in a break room or multiple people can see it. There needs to be terminals. They need to do it work from home to do it. But by the time you get to talking to the executives, you should have a pretty good idea of what everybody else is talking about. And by doing it a top down then from the executives, you've actually informed the executives of what the real need is for your learning management system. You can build the case for it. And then you can get the right budget to build the right solution. Too often, we go about in making rash decisions based on we don't have that much in the budget to do this because somebody made an arbitrary decision of this is what it costs. Get the right amount of money for your learning management system. Get the right amount of effort into it. Build a system that works for you. Okay, enough preaching here. So get your budget. Now that you have all your requirements, you've talked to people, you have an idea what you want, you have a perfectly designed learning management system in your head. Get a budget. Talk to those vendors. Evaluate the requirements and budget and say, is this the right budget? Choose your vendor and then implement. My recommendation is you get a guide. You get somebody to help you through this process. That's part of what I do. That's what I tell my customers. Sometimes having somebody do it from the outside world does help you. We are available here at ISChamp to do this sort of work, or just to talk to you about it. I don't want you to think that this is only a sales pitch. Right? It does have a little bit of that in here, but it's, as a matter of fact, I don't even have the next slide that has my phone number or contact information on it. That's on the information that you saw on the site. You'll see it on the YouTube page as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Get a guide. Maybe I'll go ahead and put that up there. Oh, and maybe I'll go ahead and get my green screen over here just a little bit further. There we go. So I think I'll add one more. And so I will go ahead and throw a last slide on here. I'm in Indianapolis, as you can see behind me. Big fan of the 103rd running of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is this May. They do innovation. They build culture. They're doing a lot of things well. I wouldn't go out and today, jump in and say, hey, we're going to go do this. Build support, build rapport, but build the right solution for your company and you'll be happy. I'm Tom Mills. We're at ISChamp. You can contact us as ischamp.com. Email me at tom@ischamp.com. But we're here to help. And we'd like to see somebody do this really, really well. And I think you guys can do it. I got a lot of faith in you guys. Thank you. And have a great weekend. Tom Mills signing off for now, February 15th, 2019. Oh, I should ask any questions out there. Let's do that first before I sign out. Good point. All right. Do we have anybody out there that has any questions? Where's my question page? There it is. Now let's minimize the presentation. And let's get to, there we go. There we go. Well, not seeing any questions out there. Okay, I must have done an excellent job. I want to just make sure that we didn't have any. Am I sharing my screen yet? Is that why I'm not seeing my question bar? Oh, I dropped a wave it down underneath there. There we go. Any questions? All right, if not, I want to thank you all for joining us today and have a pleasant tomorrow.